I think you guys are gonna, you guys and girls are gonna love this video today. It's really, if you're, not to label anyone, but if you're quite a shy person, if you're an introvert, if you're someone that has had social anxiety, has found it awkward being around people and speaking to people, and if you're someone who doesn't like having eye contact with people, right? You may think that sounds strange. In my world, that's really nothing new to me. So stay on this video, because what I'm going to share and speak on comes from many years of experience, right? And that doesn't make me old, that still makes me young, but old enough to have the wisdom to know what I'm talking about. It's going to give you some confidence. It's going to help you to figure things out that maybe you've been trying to figure out about yourself, that have been holding you back in your life, right? And I just discovered this kind of today in the last 10 years, right? Because I didn't feel like doing a video today, and I pushed myself and I did one video. I didn't really like the way it came out. I felt like I came across very negative and very sort of, I just wasn't, it didn't come out right. I didn't feel right. That's just my opinion. Maybe people will think different. So then I got passionate and I did a second video, and I thought it came out brilliant because I got more into the video. I was more enthusiastic about the topic, which was self-sabotaging. Then I thought, well, if the next video went better, why don't I do another video? Because the more videos I do, the more I feel like I come out of myself. I express myself more. I don't second guess myself. I don't start thinking about how I'm coming across. My confidence is there. I'm expressive, I'm outgoing, and everything feels good. So I realised that for a lot of shy people, right? Again, shy is not a permanent place. Shyness is temporary. You know, social anxiety is not permanent. It's a temporary resting place. It's a temporary hiding place for a lot of us who have undergone that label because of bullying at school when you're younger, because of ridicule, because of being made to feel stupid, because of being embarrassed or shamed or judged at some point in your life. It happened to me when I was younger. It really did. I got bullied really bad at school and around my local neighbourhood, and it put so much fear into me, and I realised that a big proportion of the fear was an incredible amount of shame. I wasn't initially ashamed of who I was actually quite confident with who I was and proud of who I was. But when I started to express myself in school, I got laughed at, I got attacked, I got punched, I got called horrible names, I got a lot of heckling, and it made me feel different. It made me feel like I was, that there was something wrong with me, that everyone else was normal, and I was doing something that was bad. I was wrong, and they were right. It made me feel, even though that's not true, looking back isn't true, but at the time I felt, well, they're right, I'm wrong. Yeah, I must be strange or weird. I must be acting strange even though I wasn't. I need to act the way they want me to act. So I'd second guess myself. I would adapt to what I thought they wanted me to be and how they wanted me to act and sound and my body language. And that was a way of protecting myself. And for most part, that place was in that shy box, was where I wouldn't speak too much. I might say a couple of words, and I would be very, very calculated with the words I said, because I didn't want to embarrass myself or get bullied or judged. So after living like that for many years, I had enough of it. And I've spoken on this before, right? I'm not trying to be a tough guy. But I started standing up to bullying when I was younger. I had to at that time. And then they stopped bullying me. They got scared of me, right? I won their respect, or vice versa, right? Physically, I stopped the bullying, and then I started to stand up for myself. But it took some time. And it made me realise that it's you have the power, you have the choice. You have the choice as to whether you want to be yourself, and you want to say what you want to say, regardless of what he thinks or what she thinks or what they think. If they judge you or they try and bully you, you've got the power to stand up for yourself. And I think when I do these videos unconsciously, I'm saying that to my younger self. You know, when I was a kid, as an adult, I'm making up for those lost years. Or who's to say they were lost years, right? but for those times where I didn't speak up because I allowed the negative opinions of other people to keep me in my place, silence me basically, right? And that's what's going on a lot with a lot of you, you know, for you guys and girls. It's coming back to what one person said or a group of people, and unfortunately that might have been someone in your family, or usually it's at school, right? It's kids can be mean when they're younger at school. They show off, they're insecure, and they take out on other people. They try and get approval and they bully people because they don't feel good about their life, so they don't feel they're in control, so they've got to try and, you know, put people down to make themselves feel good, which is a terrible way to be, right? People do it. So it's that voice in the head. It almost feels like they put a voice in your head that says, don't speak because you sound stupid. Don't say that because you're dumb. Or don't say that because you're weak, for a lot of guys. Or don't say that, people are going to think you're strange. But for a lot of times, it's not strange. You're not saying anything strange. You're just being yourself. You're not, that's just there. Do you know what it comes down to? It's jealousy. When I look back, they're trying to silence you because you've got something that threatens them. There's actually something good in you that they see and they don't like it. So it's really weird when I've started to understand this more as I've gotten older, understanding the way that bullies think and how you can address this, right? And believe me, I do believe in forgiveness as well, so we're not holding resentment or anger. That does come in time, right? And that's another video. But it's good to understand these things so you can change it, right? And it's going to bring me on to a question I have had for years, right? And I've been approached by lots of guys when I've been out in London on the street and all kinds of places, tube. I've been with family, girlfriend, friends, and they've seen my videos on YouTube over the years, and they've said to me, you know, how do I get over this anxiety of speaking to women, speaking to people? Like I just feel so afraid to go up to a person that I like and just speak to them, and I get awkward, and I've had a lot of time to think on this, and the obvious answer is, well, you know, you're scared of being rejected, right? And that probably is the underlining subconscious fear, right? Because when we're younger at school, as I said, it's a weird thing to say, right? This is really deep. I want to make a note of this. I'm kind of going off on tangents, but it's all true. No one can reject you really other than yourself. If everyone else shuns you and judges you and doesn't like you or laughs at you, that's their choice. But if you don't reject yourself, if you don't agree with them and you don't let them stop you and you don't let them get into your head and make you quit, and you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're saying and you value yourself and you love yourself, then they're not winning. They can't win. They want to win. They want to keep you down. But if you allow it to get into you and scare you and make you stop expressing yourself, then they're winning, and then you're back in the shy box. And I don't believe in labels. Well, I do believe in labels, right? In a sense that, yeah, someone can put a label on you, but I believe that you've got a choice to break free of that label. That you don't have to be someone who is called shy or introverted or less socially capable, right? Because when I look back on my life, I speak for a lot of you, and it's not bragging, I'm just being honest. I was really socially intelligent, as you can probably tell, right? No one's perfect, but I was charming, I was caring, I was different to a lot of the other kids at school. I was a bit awkward, but there was a lot of confidence with that awkwardness, you know. That was just my personality, the way I expressed myself. That didn't make me anything less. That actually made me unique. That I wasn't trying to. I respected everyone, and I was brought up with good values, and I was, as I said, I was very caring about other people's feelings, but I was just different, you know, and I came across a little bit different, but it wasn't bad. I wasn't bad to people. I wasn't going around hurting or harming. I was just, you know, expressing myself in the only way that I knew how to, by being how bloody God made me to be. I couldn't really change that until I started to change it, as I said, for a while, which didn't feel right, to protect myself from further bullying and stuff. So when you start understanding that really, that it's only really you that can reject you, Anyway, that's that done. So, you know, a lot of guys have asked me this kind of, it's a double question. It's how to overcome the anxiety of speaking to a girl or a woman that you like in any social situation where you go over and start the conversation. And that also, and it's also tied in with how to get more comfortable speaking to people. And why can't I do it? That's what guys will ask me, or even women will write, why can't I do it? And I'll tell you the reason why you believe you can't do it, and I'm telling you that you can if you really wanted to. Because we're scared of getting awkward, and I still have the fear as well, even though I've done many years, right? I've faced it and overcome it, but it still comes back. And it's hard to explain. I think guys are more scared of going up to a girl and getting awkward because it doesn't feel nice when you get awkward in those moments. You know, whether you're speaking in front of a camera, there's some kind of emotion that comes up and it feels horrible. It feels uncomfortable. It almost feels like you're going to explode, you're going to die, right? Even though I know it's not going to happen, right? But it doesn't feel right. It's an emotion that feels very abstract, as opposed to our regular, you know, emotional state, which it feels a lot more peaceful and a lot more calmer, and it's not a feeling of going against the grain. And that's what you're scared of. You're not really scared of the girls per se, or for women. You're not scared of the guys or for people. You're scared of the feelings of the emotions which come up in you when you speak to a person that you're interested in or that you like. And it's called being human. You know, everyone has it. I realised that as I've gotten older. Some people just they're not honest about it, and we're trying to be more honest on this channel so we can help each other, right? Build more confidence and get out of being shy. And it just comes to, and that's why we often look up to people for leadership. We like people that are very outgoing and express themselves, because we feel a sense that I wish I could do that. I wish I could be like that. Not copy that person, but I wish I had the courage to express myself in my own personality like that person does, like that woman does, or that man does, or that group of people. But the real answer is you can. That anyone can do it. Anyone can choose right now today to express themselves, to be themselves, to speak out, to be confident. Anyone can do it. I'm not saying it's easy, right? And I used to say this when I was teaching. It's so difficult to do it initially. It's such a terrifying, uncomfortable thing. But when you do it and you commit to it, it's the most easiest thing you've ever done in your life. It's like, you know, putting on your trainers and tying up your shoelaces. I know that doesn't make sense, but when you do it in practice, it makes sense. Things that are so difficult and so frightening and uncomfortable, when you fully commit to doing them, 100% you do it, it's the easiest thing you've ever done in your life. And that would be the solution that I would give people. And it's, you really just got to go through that awkwardness, you know. You're not going to be awkward forever, you know, and you're not going to be awkward in every moment, but awkwardness is part of human nature. We do get awkward from time to time around the people that we love, the people that we're comfortable with, especially with new people, but you just have to keep working through it. You just have to go through it and go through it again and again and again until you can get more confidence and you can become, you're not afraid to get afraid, basically. Like I am scared, like everyone as well, getting awkward, but I've got so much experience with facing it, and I've lived with the consequences of that happening, which are never as bad as you think. Most of our minds make it out like it's going to be, oh, life's over and your life will continue. So, you know, I believe that the awkwardness, and that might even raise the feeling of feeling rejected. But a lot of guys will say to me, I'm worried to go and speak to a girl or a woman that I like because I don't want her to think I'm weird. And by weird means, if I get awkward in front of her, or I can't maintain eye contact, or I panic in my face, or I start stuttering, or I freeze up and I can't come up with anything to say in that moment, she's going to see me as a weird person. She's going to see me as a bad person or someone who's strange, right? And look, she may see you like that, But like what I'm coming back to my point again with the bullying at school for men and women, whoever, you have to get to a point where you don't care, you choose not to care what someone would think about you. And it's not always that someone's going to think that. No, a lot of women have told me they find it attractive when guys get a bit nervous and they show vulnerability, right? And that's not true in all cases, but a lot of cases, a lot of women, you know, have married a man based on his social quirks or whatever you call it. So you've got to look at, I try and look at things, tell you the full extent of the truth. That yeah, for some women it might put them off. They might think, oh, he's too nervous, he was a bit awkward. No, I'm not going to date him. I want to date a guy who's more confident. But the real catch-22 is the confident guy that she's going to date, at some point, he's going to get socially intimidated. None of us are perfect. It's impossible, right? And of course, there's some people that are extremely socially awkward, right? But they can change it. They can turn it around. And, you know, maybe I shouldn't say this about myself as well, but I try and say it to be sincere and give other people hope. I've always been see, it happens to me. I get stuttery. I've always been awkward in situations. I have had situational awkwardness and social anxiety. But I have to say, I'm a very confident person as well. I've had two. It's like, you know, two people making one person, right? I've had to work with it and accept that part and think, well, if I didn't have that bit of awkwardness or I couldn't always get my words out, then I wouldn't have all of the other strong attributes, the confidence, the strength, the courage, the kindness and empathy, charisma, humour. So I'm not speaking to myself. It's hard today to get the balance of not, you don't want to come across like you're egotistical, but you don't want to put yourself down. It's just the balance, right? So I really wanted to go deep into the psychology because I haven't done that as much over the years. I did a lot of demonstrations to go out and do my social experiments and show people how to speak to people. And people got a lot out of that. But I think this is the kind of next bit I want to share with men and women, because men and women both go through awkwardness. I've been on hundreds of dates and I really appreciate it. There's been situations where a girl has said to me, I was really awkward about meeting you, I was nervous, and I was like, don't worry about it, I like you, it's totally fine. And I've been on the other end of it where I've said to a girl, I'm really nervous today on this date, I'm awkward, right? So it's quite humbling. So no one's better than anyone, but don't let anyone tell you you can't do this. And like I said, a lot of the time the bullying comes from the bullies feel worthless. The bullies feel worthless, which is why they bully other kids that might be physically less capable than they are. They bully them to make themselves feel good, and that's not the right way to make yourself feel good. You don't make yourself feel good by making other people's lives hell and bullying them. That will only destroy your self-esteem in the long run, right? But that's something that a lot of people have got to come and learn through their own experience, and hopefully see right through wrong. And treating other people like that, it ain't going to get you nowhere in life. It's going to get you down a downward spiral. So it's good to understand, and you can change. You know, you can change. For those of you that didn't know me years ago, you only know me as the person you know me now, the person that makes videos on YouTube, Johnny Berba. So you see me as the confident person who helps, who does these videos, which is great. But if you knew me before this person, you'd have seen me when I was shy and I had no confidence, and I could never have got in front of a camera and done a video and give anyone advice, give them confidence. wouldn't have done it. I would have been so scared of being judged and people, laughing at me or embarrassing myself. I wouldn't have done it, and that changed me over years. I decided I'm not going to have that. I'm going to value myself, and I'm going to express myself, because if you don't express yourself, you can't get by in life. If you just stay silent because and I totally get it. I'm not having a go at people. I'm compassionate. I understand it is frightening at times. I was terrified in periods, but that's why I encourage people to find your courage, because that fear that people put into you is hype. It's overrated. It can't hurt you if you stand up to it in most cases. They're scared deep down. They're more scared than you are. It's a crazy thing to say. Bullies are petrified. They're scared and they hide it well. They're good actors. And they, you know, and they're hurting people because they're hurt, right? They say hurt people. I believe you can change that, right? If you're a hurt person, then you can fix yourself up and then not hurt other people. So it's I know I've gone deep today, right? But these things all connect. The fears that men have of going up and speaking to a woman that they like, or speaking to the same sex to make friends or an event. These fears come from the childhood. They come from things that happen when you're younger. And if you don't change these things and recognize them, then they're always going to haunt you and hold you back in life. So I sometimes think it's not about fully addressing our issues, because I don't know if you can do that. You can do it to a certain extent. It's really about moving forward with them and if that makes sense, not letting them hold you back, basically. And that's what I guess my message has been about over the years, because there's a lot of people, even today, right? I can't think of names, but I'm imagining they would make fun of me that I do these videos. They would think it's stupid. They wouldn't like it. They'd be joking. I don't care what they think. And if I did care, I wouldn't do the videos, because I would care about what they thought about me to such a degree that I wouldn't do the videos. And part of me doing the videos is the best demonstration I can give other people that are struggling to express themselves and be social. Because at the end of the day, it's our God-given birthright. You're not meant to be alive to be a victim of someone else's bullying, and not to be able to express yourself and you know, make relationships. So this video will go a long way. I felt great about doing this, and I'm sure you'll let me know in the box below if it's helped you. So that's my answer to this question. The last thing I'm going to say is, this is the most important bit to give people hope, which is true. We often focus on the negative outcome of facing our fear of being rejected or getting awkward or being laughed at, but we don't focus on the success that's going to come. That failure equals success. For every awkward situation you go through, if you keep pushing yourself into these situations, then you're going to get to a point where it's not going to be awkward, where it is going to work out, where the person is going to like you, you're going to like yourself, which is very important. It's a two-way relationship in this. You have to like yourself. You know, no one likes everything about themselves, but you have to get to a place where you like who you are. You don't need other people to give you a green light and tell you when you can speak and when you can't. And that goes a long way. And then people will feel that. They will give you back what you're giving them, which is that confidence, that positive energy. But you also will have the strength to handle trolls, critics, bullies, and not let them frighten you, bully you, or silence you, or keep you down. So it takes practice. The more you practice, the more confidence you gain. And the more you see sense. You see that this is the right way to go. I've got my own mind, I'm my own person. I don't need to believe what other people tell me. So if they told me I was dumb at school, I can change that and say, no, I'm not dumb, and I can educate myself. Or if they tell me that I was ugly, no, I'm not an ugly person, I'm an attractive person. I can prove that to myself. I don't need them to tell me what I am. I don't need anyone to tell me what I am who has horrible things to say about me. And I also want to make a point of saying I won't treat other people like that as well, because you don't want to be a hypocrite. You don't want to be trying to stop rising against bullying and then bullying other people, right? Become fearless. I hope that helped.